Good evening, everybody. It is Sunday. It is 8:01 Pacific Standard Time. Do you know where your cryptids are at?
Well, I'm not even going to say it. He's back behind me.
All right.
It is.
Top of the hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Top of the hour.
T-shirts. We're looking at a shop through Amazon so that they will handle everything. There'll be less muss, less fuss. And that's where I was getting a lot of my branded T-shirts anyway. So if we just set up a storefront through them, it just, the quality's good because everybody else just seems to have some hiccups that I'm not comfortable with.
Nice.
So, yeah, we start filming March 14th.
That's coming up, yeah.
That's coming up. We're going to attempt to put all movies on Amazon. Release dates will be given once we get all that set up. We're probably not going to talk about documentaries after we start filming. We're just going to shut up about that one.
Right.
Till they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so might as well just everybody get back onto the tour bus. If you see the Facebook page, James did a great AI version, and then Tammy did I believe it was an AI version. Both great versions.
Yeah, an old school and new school. They were both great.
They were both excellent. So,
and then I just had to top it off with the other one later. Global dominance.
Oh, I'm sure there's other road trips that Tammy will come up with.
Absolutely.
Get more usage out of that tour bus.
But what about the plane? The plane, boss. The plane.
Oh, if we give Tammy the full run, she's going to have us overseas, and then we'll have to pull the plane out of the hangar.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so everybody back in the tour bus. It is Route 66, Part 2 in our month of Route 66, the ghosts of Route 66. Tammy, the show is yours.
Okay. Welcome back to the old deserted truck stop where our tour bus has been parked while we've been exploring the area. Before heading out, we are sitting around a campfire and cooking up some bacon and eggs because that's what James wanted for breakfast. With the coffee brewing, we enjoy a little relaxation before we load up for the next part of our journey. Just a few miles away is Zombie Road, so all aboard for tonight's adventure. Zombie Road is a strange winding trail located a half hour from downtown St. Louis in the small town of Wildwood, Missouri. The history of this 3.6-mile stretch of road dates back to when Native Americans resided on the land. Over the years, it has developed an infamous reputation for being haunted. Visitors hear unexplained cries at night. Other times, people see ghostly apparitions of children and shadow figures. Unseen forces also attack some people. The area is closed off at night due to the treacherous nature of the path, but many have experienced ghostly activity in broad daylight.
Any women in white?
Huh?
Any women in white?
Not yet.
White dresses, black dresses, red dresses.
Sure, give her time. There'll be somewhere.
Okay, Tammy, I think a future homework assignment is find us a woman in, say, a green dress.
A blue dress.
Oh, there we go. Blue and green.
Yes.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Challenge has been accepted.
Zombie Road is officially known as Rock Hollow Trail, and it's sometimes called the Al Foster Trail. Indigenous people created the path hundreds of years ago. In fact, the largest Native American burial mound in the United States is thought to sit under Zombie Road. A redesign for railroad services in 1860 gave it the name Lawler Ward Road. At that time, the Union used the road extensively throughout the Civil War. Numerous tragedies have occurred on Zombie Road due to train derailments, with engineers and railroad workers losing their lives. In 1876, a train hit a woman named Della Hamilton McCullough, killing her. As for how Zombie Road got its bizarre name, it goes back to the 1950s. Back then, the trail was used as a lover's lane for teenagers, but it was also a place to drink and do drugs, leading to local authorities closing off the trail at night. Police are serious about keeping people off the road after dusk. Trespassers can be fined up to $1,000, which non-believers joke is the scariest thing about Zombie Road. For decades, countless unexplained occurrences have been reported. Hikers feel an overwhelming sense of dread and unease along the trail, even in broad daylight. Witnesses have also heard disembodied cries and the voice of an old woman who yells at all those who walk on the trail. Some believe it's the unique spirit of Della Hamilton McCullough, killed by the train 150 years ago. The cries could be all of those rail workers who died violent deaths. Indeed, multiple derailments happened along the road in the late 1800s. Other ghost sightings include shadow figures that hide in the dense woods surrounding Zombie Road, and a blue light that hovers over the old rail line, almost as if the ghost of a train is haunting the site.
You know what would take care of those shadow people? Setting woods on fire. Can't have a shadow in all that light.
Says one of the oldest ghost stories dates back to Zombie Road's time as Lover's Lane in the 1950s. The story goes that a patient escaped from a nearby mental health facility and hid in the woods, a mental hospital, and hid in the woods surrounding Zombie Road. He would kill local teens who came to the area and allegedly continued his killings after he died and became a ghost. The unknown individual is known as the Zombie Killer. While there's no evidence he ever existed, he has been associated with the shadow figures often seen by visitors hiking the trail.
Again, burning the woods would handle this.
Yeah.
Does this guy have a hook hand? Is this one of those urban legends? You know, the kids go to Lover's Lane, they hear on the radio that an escaped mental patient has been sighted in the area, and then, you know, they hear a scratching at the dog. So they get in the car and they gas it and they drive out of there in a hurry, and then there's still the scratching and some thumping on the side of the car, and when the boy gets the girlfriend home, and then he goes out around to open up the car door, and hanging there was awful.
Oh, man. That sounds like a good movie.
No, it's been a movie. It's been 1,000 movies. It's just one of those urban legends of, you know, I mean, there's different variants of the same thing. Like, the lovers go to Lover's Lane, and they hear on the radio about a escaped convict with a hook hand, and there's scratching on top of the car, and more scratching, and the boyfriend gets out to examine it, and then he doesn't come back for a while, and there's more scratching and more scratching. And the girlfriend gets out of the car, and the scratching is actually the boyfriend has been hung by his ankles by the tree above him, and the scratching is his fingernails as he's blowing in the wind.
Man, I need to watch more movies.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Lover's Lane and an escaped mental patient who hangs out with shadow people in the woods. Flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Takes care of all that. I don't know.
Some go as far as to claim that he appears as a giant entity in the woods. Maybe it's a giant tree. They just need to chop it down.
Flamethrower. Takes care of everything.
Flamethrower could be fun.
Just drop a damn bomb. Get it over and done with.
Okay, James is going to love this next story.
Uh-oh.
So now it's time to head out to Springfield, Missouri, and more hauntings.
Question is there a woman in white and bacon or just bacon?
It might not be bacon.
Oh, thank God.
I think this show has ruined bacon for James.
It really has. But, okay. I'll get over it eventually. Some year.
So James, I know you went away for your birthday and anniversary, and you guys went out for breakfast and lunches. What'd you have for breakfast?
Let's see. Yesterday morning, Wendy's Baconator.
So you're not totally sick of bacon.
No.
Sorry, Jamie, go ahead. Let me see where we're at. We're at 12 minutes, and we've been off the rail for what?
After
3?
that time?
Not half of that, yeah. That's what happens when the doc doesn't get a lot of sleep at night.
Hey, it works.
Yeah.
So our first stop when we arrive is at Phelps Grove Park on East Bennett Street. Phelps Grove Park encompasses some 44 acres that provide entertainment and beauty to area residents. It's also allegedly home to a wandering spirit. Though the park is quite old, the spirit is relatively new, evidently killed in an automobile accident. It was the day of her wedding, and as she and her new groom drove through the park, the automobile went out of control and they were both killed. The bride under the bridge has often been spied near the third bridge in the park in the evening. The
Question.
forlorn bride is usually standing holding up the hem of her gown, which you can imagine what color it probably is.
Why?
I was just going to ask, was it her wedding gown?
It was her wedding gown.
Woman in white. Somebody check that. Where's Julie? Julie needs to run this board. I don't think Julie's on tonight. Somebody's got to get the whiteboard behind them. This is just a
See, I
backdrop.
forgot, man.
What?
I was going to have one and I totally spaced it off.
Next
it
year.
happened.
So it says that she's standing there holding up the hem of her gown, but there's only darkness where her face should be. Now, another legend tells the story a bit differently. Legend has it that on their wedding night, the couple was crossing the bridge in their carriage when the horse bolted, causing the carriage to tip over the railing of the bridge. The carriage landed upside down, killing the couple. Now, I found another story about it too. And that story goes, after World War I, the roadway in Phelps Grove Park was more or less an oval. So it became a hotbed for young guys with Model Ts to go there and race around the park. It was so common that the Springfield Police Department would station an officer there during the days and the weekends to stop speeders and races. Apparently, the officer would not stay past dusk. And this is where our story begins. A young couple were married downtown, and the groom decided to take his young lovely bride on a joyride. They came to Phelps Grove Park near dusk after the officer left. They began to race around the park, enjoying the exhilaration of the speed and the joy of their wedding day. They hit the bridge. The groom stayed in the car, but his young bride was thrown from the car and smashed into the bridge and died. For years, people have claimed to see a woman near or under the bridge dressed in a flowing white wedding gown. The park and bridge have been the site for several paranormal investigations that have recorded abnormal readings. So, yeah, she's our lady in white tonight.
So we've got 2. Tick, tick.
Damn it.
So our next is a quick stop at the Bass Country Inn. A ghost named Carl, a former busboy at the inn, is said to haunt the premises. Staff have reported seeing him in the kitchen and in the halls. Others have reported seeing a pair of legs beneath the table, but when they crouch down, there's no one there. Carl has often been reported as having been seen just out of the corner of an eye disappearing into an office or down a hall, but upon closer inspection, no one is there. Carl is seemingly harmless, but others have reported another female spirit who isn't very friendly at the inn. Both apparitions have been said to touch people. The Bass Country Inn is located off Highway 44 at North Glenstone Avenue. And we're going to go visit the Landers Theater. It was built in 1909 and has been used ever since. The 4-story brick and terracotta building played host to some great artists before it became a motion picture house, or in modern terms, a movie theater. In 1977, it was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. It was restored in the 1980s to its former glory and elegance. The theater features ballets, plays, musicals, symphonies, and more. It also has some visitors that never leave. On
Are
December
there shadow figures?
Yeah.
Black-eyed kids? Women in white? By the way, Julie is home sick in bed, so she's unable to do the keep track of the things. So
Feel
people who
better,
are at home, you just got to follow along the best you can, and if you've got something to drink,
Drink it.
it's a shot night.
Ah. All right, got the bottle ready.
On December 17th, 1920, there was a major fire at the Landers. The janitor was killed in the fire, and it caused the closure of the theater for a while. It wasn't a complete loss due to the asbestos curtain and other fireproofing precautions. The old janitor is often seen up in the balcony by stage performers. There's another story about a baby being dropped from the upper balcony. When the actors are practicing on stage, the baby repeats its fall over and over.
Well, that's not disturbing at all.
Yeah. People have heard a crying baby and the words of the ghostly mother comforting the baby. And then outside the theater, an apparition can be seen peeking from a 4th floor window. Described as tall with long blonde hair, the spirit wears Elizabethan clothing. Unplugged spotlights turn on and off on their own. People have felt followed. Taps are felt on the shoulder, and apparitions have been seen through the building. The Landers is located at 311 East Walnut Street. Just in case anybody wants to go.
Well, we got to tack it on to the big list of things we need to go and do and see. And that list is huge.
I don't know. Mine kind of just got a little shorter.
So we have another stop before we leave Springfield. We're going to stop at a little suburb named Halltown. Halltown, Missouri is known for a prominent local legend involving Ashton, a riverboat captain, who had allegedly murdered his family after escaping an asylum on Halloween, leaving unexplained bloodstains but no bodies. With his ghost potentially haunting the area, though much of the ghostly lore seems to be tied to local haunted attractions rather than being a deep historical haunting of the town itself. While the town is small, its paranormal reputation stems from stories like Ashton's and general local folklore surrounding old abandoned places. So they always
One of those places that we want to go to.
So that sucks. He gets out, he escapes and goes and kills his family. Yeah. Okay, so we're back on the tour bus and we're driving down Route 66 and we are approaching the ghost town of Avila. Although Avila has a population of 100 or so residents, it's considered one of the living ghost towns of historic Route 66. This rural village was founded in 1856 and is the fourth oldest settlement in Jasper County, Missouri. It has a rich history and a bit of a dark past. Interestingly, some people say the darkness still haunts the once thriving town. A large fire in 1971 at the Avila lumberyard destroyed several of the buildings, including most of the lumber company. Although the lumber yard was rebuilt, the town continued to decline and has never fully rebounded. Now all that remains are vacant lots, abandoned buildings, and a few buildings that are still being used. The 1915 Bank of Avila served the town for 3 decades. During the Great Depression, the notorious Irish O'Malley gang robbed the bank and kidnapped the cashier. So although it's no longer a bank, the historic building has been utilized as the town's post office since 1952 and stands as a local cultural icon. Like many Missouri towns, Avila found itself split during the Civil War. Tensions among residents of opposing views caused some families to be torn apart, while others left the town in fear of their safety. Confederate guerrilla attacks against Union sympathizers were common. William T. Anderson was a pro-Confederate guerrilla leader believed to have led such attacks. Although he was killed in 1864, Anderson was posthumously nicknamed Bloody Bill for his ruthless actions.
Did you say Bloody Bill?
Yeah.
Another Civil War era legend involves a spirit haunting the town, the Avila Phantom Bushwhacker, or Rotten Johnny Reb. He's said to haunt not only the town, but also the Death Tree. It is said that during the war, the skull of the Confederate bushwhacker was found. Rather than burying it, it was hung from the tree as a warning to others. As a result, the ghost of Rotten Johnny Reb searches the town and surrounding woods for his head and for Yankees to kill. But many deaths were blamed on him over the years, with the legend driving off many of the remaining townspeople after the war ended. According to the old legend, the only way to end the curse and put Rotten Johnny's spirit to rest is to find his skull, cut down the tree, and bury it, or set it ablaze on holy ground. If you believe such legends, it would be nearly impossible to carry this out because the location of the death tree died off when the last survivors of the war did.
That's why you have to burn everything. You start on one tree and you work your way around the town. You go until you run out of trees. Sooner or later, you'll find the skull. Come on, people, this isn't that hard.
There was a belief that black crows would flock to the tree during the day as a perch, and that it was an apple tree that no longer would bear fruit. However, time and the changing landscapes has made it nearly impossible to find the tree today, if it even still exists at all.
That's why you burn it. Burn everything. You'll find it.
Okay, so we are going to leave Johnny, and we're going to hop back on the tour bus, and we're going to head off to Joplin, Missouri. Remember hearing of Bonnie and Clyde?
Yeah.
Bonnie and Clyde were infamous American outlaws. Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow, who led a violent crime spree across the central U.S. during the Great Depression, 1932 to 1934. They would rob banks, stores, and gas stations while becoming folk heroes for their rebellion, but they were responsible for numerous murders, including at least 9 police officers, before they themselves were ambushed and killed by law enforcement in Louisiana on May 23, 1934. In 1933, however, they stopped in Joplin with their Barrow Gang. They stayed in an apartment above a garage near Oak Ridge and 34th Street. During that time, neighbors reported activities, eventually leading the police to investigate. A shootout occurred, which resulted in the death of 2 police officers, and the deadly duo made it out. Photographic evidence was recovered from the apartment, which eventually led to the downfall of the Burroughs gang. There's no paranormal activity there, but it's a great stop on an adventure.
Well, I mean, we're on the road. Might as well stop there anyway. I mean, you never know. There might be something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People would be surprised at a building they say, it doesn't look like there's anything there. But then you get in there and you actually do some serious investigating and you find something in there.
So we're going to, I found a lot of little pieces about stuff, not a lot of huge information. For one, this road is so long that we're going to be on it for a while. But, in Joplin, there's also the Peace Church Cemetery. The cemetery dates back to the mid-19th century and has been more or less abandoned for the past 3 decades. Its most famous inhabitant is probably Billy Cook, who killed 6 people during a 22-day criminal rampage between Missouri and California in the early 1950s.
Didn't we already have a Billy? Now we got another
Yeah, we
Bill.
have Bloody Bill. And this said, okay, he was buried here in Joplin at the cemetery in an unmarked grave after being executed in the gas chamber at San Quentin. Locals claim to frequently see apparitions here. Items are thrown at visitors. Some unlucky souls return home with unexplained scratches on them. Wow, sounds kind of vicious.
Yeah, especially if his name is Bill. They already had a Bill that likes to do everything. Maybe we need to get some women in white and the Bills, Bill 1 and Billy, Bloody Bill, this Bill, that other Bill. We'll get them all together with the women in white and just send them on their way.
There you
Everybody
go.
be happy.
So,
I don't know. I'm so tired.
So our next location is Prosperity School Bed and Breakfast, located in Joplin. A school in its olden days, this building stood empty for 3 decades before it was renovated into an inn. During the time it was empty, it became known as a hotspot for haunts. TV's Ghost Hunters has caught an image of ghost children running down the hall, shadow figures, and a ghost nurse has been reported as well. The rooms are all named after longtime teachers at the old school, and many guests have reported strange occurrences, such as ghostly children who crawl into bed with them and disturbances with the electrical equipment. So that doesn't sound like fun.
I don't know if I want to touch that.
I wasn't gonna.
I just
I think
Yeah.
we'll skip that location. Was it the sentence about the TV show or about the ghostly children? Or both?
no, it's a ghostly children. I mean,
Yeah.
how the hell are you going to handle that one? And how little are they? And it's just
Yeah.
weird. I mean, it's not like you can punch them in the face.
Okay. So, back on the bus. We're going to
Oh,
head
back
to
on the bus, moving on. There we go.
We decided we didn't want the kids kicking us when they crawled into bed. So, we're going to head out to Monet, Missouri, to the John Walsh Mansion. That house has at least 3 paranormal residents. A man in a formal dress is often glimpsed, especially in upper bedroom areas. I almost said he was in a dress. A small child, most likely female, is also present and likes to play with the household dogs, as my dogs start barking. A middle-aged woman visits the music room part of the house, and when an antique pump organ was moved into the area, the lights flashed off and on for a prolonged period of time. There are just many more too numerous to talk about in Missouri. So we are going to head to, we're going to roll into the next state because there's something interesting around the Missouri-Oklahoma border.
I got nothing. I got no smart ass remark right there. You paused like you're waiting on one of us to jump at something, and I was just have to dial tone in the brain.
Well, this next one's kind of cool. It's
a woman in white at Lover's Lane who drives a car. Filled with black-eyed children. Film at 11. I don't know.
Well, bobbing and bouncing along a dirt road in northeast Oklahoma is the Hornet Spook Light, a paranormal enigma for more than a century. Described most often as an orange ball of light, the orb travels from east to west along a 4-mile gravel road. The road is called the Devil's Promenade by area locals. The spook light, often referred to as the Joplin Spook Light or the Tri-State Spook Light, is actually in Oklahoma near the small town of Quapaw. However, it is most often seen from the east, which is why it's been attached to the tiny hamlet of Hornet, Missouri, and the larger, better-known town of Joplin. According to the legend, the spook light was first seen by Indians along the infamous Trail of Tears in 1836. However, the first official report occurred in 1881 in a publication called the Ozark Spook Light. The ball of fire, described as varying in size from a baseball to a basketball, dances and spins down the center of the road at high speeds, rising and hovering above the treetops before it retreats and disappears. Others have said it sways from side to side like a lantern being carried by some invisible force. In any event, the orange firelight ball has been reported appearing nightly for well over 100 years. According to the locals, the best time to view the spook light is between the hours of 10 p.m. and midnight, but it tends to shy away from large groups and loud sounds. Though many paranormal and scientific investigators have studied the light, including the Army Corps of Engineers, no one has been able to provide a conclusive answer as to the origin of the light. Other interesting legends also abound about the light that provide a more ghostly explanation. The oldest is the story of a Quapaw Indian maiden who fell in love with a young brave. However, her father would not allow her to marry the man as he did not have a large enough dowry. The pair eloped, but were soon pursued by a party of warriors. According to the legend, when the couple was close to being apprehended, they joined hands above the Spring River and they leaped to their deaths. It was shortly after this event that the light began to appear and was attributed to the spirits of the young lovers. Another legend, isn't it sad? It was like last week everyone was jumping out of windows and leaping to their deaths.
Right.
And another legend tells of a miner whose cabin was attacked by Indians while he was away. Upon his return, he found his wife and children missing, and is said to continue looking for them along the old road, searching with his lantern. Others say the spook light is the ghost of an Osage Indian chief who was decapitated in the area and continues to search for his lost head with his lantern held high in his hand. Sightings of the spook light are common, and sometimes they're even reported to be seen inside the vehicles. A few people who have been walking along the road at night have even claimed to have felt the heat of the ball as it passed near them. I don't know, there's a lot of different thoughts on that one.
Yeah, right now nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah. Okay, so Oklahoma has the longest drivable stretch of Route 66, about 400 miles, winding through eastern to western towns like Veneta, Claremore, Tulsa, Stroud, Chandler, Arcadia, Oklahoma City, El Reno, Clinton, Oak City, and the Texas border, offering iconic stops like the Blue Well and Lucille's Roadhouse. Following generally I-44, then I-40, and it's the corridors for the modern navigation. But our first stop is going to be a little town in Rogers County called Foyle, Oklahoma. It was named after Alfred Foyle, the first settler in what would later become the town of Foyle. And after serving as a Confederate soldier and courier during the Civil War, he made his way to Oklahoma in 1875. After marrying the daughter of a leading Cherokee family, he settled on land in Rogers County, where he established a farm and a general store. In 1890, a post office was established, and of course, Alfred Foyle became the first postmaster. For most of the 1800s, this area belonged to the Cherokee Nation. However, during the Civil War, some of the Cherokee aligned themselves with the Confederacy, which caused them to forfeit their rights and land when the war was over. The Treaty of 1866 forced the Cherokee to cede land and rights to the railroad lines. So in 1881 and 1882, the Atlantic and Pacific Railroad, which later became the St. Louis-San Francisco Railway, laid tracks from Veneta to Tulsa, making its way through the Foyle area. By 1898, the town had a drugstore and a furniture store, and by 1905, a bank was added. In 1910, the town was incorporated, at which time it boasted about 150 residents. The following year, the town was recorded as having a hotel, a bank, 2 blacksmiths, a barber, a carpenter, 3 general stores, 2 doctors, a drugstore, a lumberyard, a hardware store, a lawyer, a school system with 9 teachers, and a newspaper called the Foyle Leader.
And a partridge and a pear tree.
Exactly.
You beat me to it.
We definitely want to stop in this little town to see the world's largest totem pole. We didn't find any hauntings, just old stories and a roadside attraction.
What?
And bacon.
Yeah, I'm sure we could find bacon in one of those 3 general stores.
We have a comment in the chat. I am Grandma Mildred asks, what are we reading? We are Tour Guide Tammy, would you like to talk about what we're reading?
Explain yourself.
Yeah, I'm reading about 45 pages of research that I did and wrote into a story of the ghosts of Route 66. And last week we started in Chicago and we just got to Oklahoma.
Dang.
I can't remember the song to Oklahoma, otherwise I'd throw that in right now. I am just that tired. I was like, Oklahoma, I don't remember the song.
Yeah, I can barely remember, and
I was in the play. I don't remember the song.
Same here. And we'll leave it at that.
Oh, I missed out a while ago. Betty said creepy children.
Oh, well, see, we both missed that.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Hi, Betty. Okay, so as we head west on Route 66, we come across the town of Claremore and the home of the Bayless family. The Belvedere Mansion was built in 1902 by railroad tycoon, and we just got to Oklahoma for Mildred. So,
we're the entire month of January is Route 66, so we'll eventually get to the end of Route 66 in 2 weeks. 3 weeks? 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, whenever the end is. A lot of stuff to cover. Tammy's doing a great job. She's coming up with some great themes, which is great because she just runs with it. And James and I just sit here and have smart ass remarks.
Yeah, and I'm not even drinking tonight. See, I'm too damn tired to even have a drink. I'm enjoying this way too much.
So the Belvedere Mansion was built in 1902 by railroad tycoon John M. Bayliss. Bayliss, who was instrumental in building the Cassville and Western Railroad and the Arkansas and Oklahoma Railroad, moved his family to Indian Territory from Cassville, Missouri in 1901. Oh, Betty says, creepy children, woman in white, always creepy. Can't wait for the next states.
You know, here's the thing. I do have sound effects in this app, and I am just so out of it. There's been moments that I'm like, oh, and then the moment comes and goes, I go, oh crap, I should have thrown that sound effect in just to be different.
And you said you were gonna mess with that tonight too.
I was, but I've got caffeine. There's no alcohol in this.
Caffeine's not working.
Oh, caffeine is not working on. I got to stay up all night. I don't know how I'm going to do this and go back to work tomorrow night. Step it up, Doc, says Betty.
Oh, called you out, buddy.
Oh, call me out. There you go. There's something.
Nice.
I don't know.
Okay, so she says yes.
Hang on. We're talking about a Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
Really? Is that what
It's
you
a
got?
Haunted Mansion. It's scary. All right, go ahead.
That fell on its place. What?
Okay, so
Yeah.
So John started building a castle-like mansion for his wife, Mary Melissa Bayliss, and his 7 children. Belvedere was successful in the railroad business, banking, and land development. It took 5 years to build the mansion, which resembled a Gothic castle. Unfortunately, Mr. Bayliss sadly died of an appendicitis attack in 1907, just 6 months before his dream house was finished.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah. So
Spend all that time and money on your dream house and it's not even finished.
yeah, so it says Mary Melissa Bayliss and her children moved into the home. It was a 3-floor, 9,000 square foot lavish brick home with 4 towers. The Gothic style brick home, complete with a tile roof and 4 towers, provided an entrance on the north side for guest carriages and a large covered porch at the front entrance with a matching balcony directly above it. The floors were covered in tile with wainscoted marble walls and pressed tin ceilings. Sliding pocket doors were used in several rooms, and many had fireplaces. Much of the trim and woodwork was bought at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. The mansion's 3rd floor was dedicated to a 2,400 square foot ballroom. The Bayliss children did really well for themselves after the death of their father. On Christmas Day in 1900, one of the daughters, Frances, married G.D. Davis. Davis eventually became president of the Bayliss family's Bank of Claremore. Frances worked at the bank as well. Guy joined the family's bank in in 1904 and continued in banking for 50 years. And then after that, I guess its guy's son Earl became president of the Bank of Claremore after his father's death. And then neither one of the children, Bland, married William Martin and moved to Kansas City, Missouri. Ross became involved in banking in Miami and Commerce, Oklahoma. Burke, also a financier, managed the Sequoia Hotel and was Claremore's postmaster. The youngest son, Wayne, was an attorney and served on the Supreme Court of the state of Oklahoma. At least one grandson, Guy Jr., was born in the Belvedere Mansion in 1916. They lived there until 1919, and then the Belvedere Mansion changed hands several times before being broken up into apartments in the 1930s. In the 1990s, the dilapidated mansion was restored to its former glory, and some ghosts were stirred up in the process.
Well, that always seems to be kind of the thing is, family members don't want to leave, but then you start construction, and then everything gets all stirred up because they're like, hey, what the hell you doing in my home?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it says the confused spirit of John M. Bayless is reported to haunt the home he never got to live in. A female tenant who took her life in the 1940s also roams the halls.
Is she in white?
People have witnessed
You
shadow
didn't
figures.
answer that.
They have felt unseen hands touch them, and the toilets are known to flush on their own accord. So our next,
I don't think any of that qualifies for a check on the board.
Well, I was just gonna say, ghosts, they have to go to the bathroom too,
So, we're going to have bacon, women in white, creepy children, flushing toilets. Flushing toilets should be take a bigger shot. I don't know.
So Tulsa is our next stop on the tour. We're going to visit Kane's Ballroom. Kane's Ballroom has been providing a good time to Tulsans since 1924. And the spirits that call this popular music venue home seem unwilling to give up the splendor of the past. Located in the heart of downtown Tulsa, Kane's Ballroom was the site of Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys' first regular radio broadcast. The venue's nickname, Home of Bob Wills, is more accurate than you can imagine.
Hang on, did you say Bob or Bill?
Bob.
Bob.
Oh, sounds first Bob of the night. Meanwhile, Tammy's like, you guys should have slept.
She's like, where the fuck am I at now? They keep interrupting me.
Well, Kane's Ballroom is reportedly haunted by the ghost of Bob Wills. He is joined by a woman known only as the Lady in Red.
What?
There you go. There's Lady in Red.
Hallelujah.
Both
It's a
employees,
different color.
yeah, both employees and visitors have reported
Lady in Red.
seeing, hearing, and feeling the presence of this mysterious woman. Often reported to be seen in the buildings are apparitions and shadow figures. People have reported disembodied voices, strange moaning and crying, cold and hot spots, and photographic anomalies throughout the building. Just down the road, the Tulsa Theater holds a ghost story of its own. Built in 1914, this former vaudeville house has hosted legendary talent from Buddy Holly to Will Rogers and Mae West. One famous performer, the great Italian tenor Enrico Caruso, is still rumored to haunt the venue. Caruso performed one of his last shows at the theater in 1920 and became ill while visiting the town. Some credit his 1921 death to the sickness he caught in Tulsa. Witnesses have reported lights turning off and on their own and unexplained equipment issues.
I got no smart ass comments. I got nothing. I don't even have a sound effect to fill in the. Yeah,
So-
I don't think I got nothing.
Okay, so we'll go for a few more minutes. There are lots of little towns along the route. Not all of them have a haunted past. Our next stop is Guthrie, a significant spot on Route 66, serving as the state's original capital and boasting a vast National Historic Landmark district with stunning turn-of-the-century architecture, a testament to its booming Oklahoma land rush, offering a glimpse into the early Mother Road history and a vibrant small-town charm as you drive through. Visitors can explore preserved buildings, experience history, and connect with the classic Route 66 vibe just north of Oklahoma City, making it a must stop for road trippers. The Stone Lion Inn is Oklahoma's first and oldest bed and breakfast. Located in Guthrie, the 1907 Victorian mansion was once the home of Mr. and Mrs. Houghton and their 12 children.
Holy shit.
Yeah!
Keep that shit in your pants, buddy.
However, the good times wouldn't last long when an incident occurred at the hands of a negligent nurse. This costly mistake would go on to turn this once beloved home into a nightmare from which the former owners can never escape. It is believed that the hauntings began when one of the Houghton children, Augusta, fell ill and died of whooping cough after a trusted nurse gave her the wrong amount of cough medicine.
Murder.
Today, disembodied voices and footsteps, and doors opening and closing on their own, are a few of the eerie events that plague the home. So, the staff that work there are always looking over their shoulder, and they tell guests to sleep with one eye open. The house was built in the early 1900s by T.E. Houghton, a prosperous merchant looking to create a larger house for his expanding family. Expanding it did. So he lived there with his wife and 12 children for nearly 20 years. The mansion is 8,000 square feet and has 4 floors. At the time of completion, it cost $11,900, which is the most expensive home in Guthrie, Oklahoma. The Houghtons moved out of the house at some point during the 1920s when it became a boarding house. Soon after that, the purpose of the home changed again and it became a funeral parlor.
Oh,
Years and years later.
Hang on. You can rent rooms here?
What?
Can we rent rooms at this place?
I think so. I think it's a bed and breakfast.
I mean, if it was a mansion, then it was a funeral parlor. And if it's a bed and breakfast, that's perfect ground zero right there.
Yeah. It says years and years went by and the home went back to being a boarding house, then a private residence again, but now it's a historic bed and breakfast.
Well, I think that would be the perfect place to pull over the tour bus and get us a room for the week.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Nice place, yes.
I mean,
So,
it's got everything we need. It's a historic mansion. It's been a bunch of things.
we can see what kind of stuff we can come up with during the week here.
Funeral parlor as it is.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Sure, James and I wouldn't mind just going down to whatever's left of the morgue and just pulling out a bed or two and just crashing out. Just lock us up for the night. We'll be fine.
Keep an
Put
eye
a
out.
quarter on our chest.
Well, I think that we'll park right here and sit in front of this spot for the week. And yeah, sounds like it could be a very interesting place.
Put it on the bucket list.
That's a long bucket list. We're gonna have to monetize things just to take this show on the road.
Well, like I said earlier, the bucket list for me just got just a tad bit smaller because I crossed one off this weekend.
So,
Hopefully, I mean, technically, if we get the other place, we've already done it, so it's not like it's on the bucket list, really.
No.
oh yeah, I found some other stuff here. So yeah,
Uh-oh.
we'll learn more about this place next week because we'll find all of our experiences and then we'll tell about them.
Alrighty then.
Righty.
So yeah, it looks like there's some good ones. I wonder how much it costs to stay there.
Well, look it up real quick. We got 4 minutes.
Okay.
If it's historic and everything else, hopefully it's not like as bad as the Stanley for a night.
Yeah, right?
Okay,
Okay.
so no, it won't tell me prices.
Wow.
Well, we got a week to figure that out, and we can talk about that as we.
Pretty awesome looking. Oh, let me go to their
Oh.
website.
We'll give it a week, and then we'll talk about the prices and all the things that are inside. And then we'll get back on the tour bus, and we'll continue on for night number 3.
Yeah,
man.
we'll tell how much our
56.
bill is for the week. How many rooms do we need?
How many people are on the bus?
I don't know. We've got Josh driving, and I'm the tour guide. We've got Julie and Betty, and
So basically, our bus does not have sleeper beds in the back. We're not like a tour bus. We're just it's like a tour bus for a rock and roll band. You know, it's an actual tour bus with seats. No wonder I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Next tour bus needs to have the bunk beds way in the back.
totally.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I'm not finding a whole lot. There is a historic firehouse there that's $300 a night.
jeez. We're talking.
Oh yeah, then they have a carriage house. Yeah, there's a lot of places. Oh, Stone Lane and yeah, it's not giving me any information. So I will research that this week.
All righty then.
And in the meantime, the doc and I, we will get caught up on some sleep. Be a little more energetic next week.
It's been a hell of a week.
You're gonna have to be energetic. We hit Texas next week.
Uh-oh. Things are always bigger in Texas.
Yeah, we might have to, stop and learn the two-step or something.
Oh, shit. Hell no.
All righty. Well, as always, James, you got the final word of the night.
Oh, really? That's a first. Just kidding. Keep your cryptids close and tight. Hug them all night. Until next week. See ya.
Remember, ghosts are people. We're people too.
Night, everybody.